Hey up, right, I hadn't intended doing this video just yet, but I encountered some issues while I've been riding the GB350, especially during the running period. Obviously you're travelling quite slowly. When you're out on the 60 mile an hour limits, you do get in the way of traffic a little bit at 50 miles an hour, and people want to overtake you, which is understandable. The OEM mirrors that come standard with this bike, I mentioned this in the review, and to be honest, it's the same across the board with most manufacturers. Unless you're 5 foot tall with a shoulder to shoulder width of about 18 inches, you can't see much through them. Now the left hand one is useless. If I adjust it so that I can't see my elbow, or my elbow is only just in the field of view, all I really get is a view of the grass verge and the fields behind me, which isn't of much use, so that's totally useless. The right hand one is a little bit better. I can get a view behind me on the road, but there's an issue with it in that you've got a massive blind spot. So if there's a car within 50 feet behind the bike following you, they're sitting in that blind spot and you don't know they're there, you can't see them. Now the issue came in where obviously I like to keep an eye on what's going on behind me. If somebody's about to overtake me, I like to be able to see that they're about to overtake me so that I know they're coming. But if they're emerging from that black spot, which they usually are when they're following fairly close behind, all of a sudden you get a shock when they whoosh past you, and that's not ideal. So I remembered when I took the Interceptor into Miles Kingsport for the part exchange, which was a couple of days before I picked this bike up. There was a Honda, I think it was a CL500, with a set of Motone Customs GRAN TOURISMO mirrors on. Now, I reviewed those about a year, 18 months ago on the Bobber Black. And I remembered I actually had a spare set squirreled away in my garage somewhere. What I actually did, I used the Motone Customs EXACTA mounts. Now these are a universal mount that are designed to be used in several ways, depending on the configuration of your handlebars. They do work with this bike and they work really well. I've spoken to Sam at Motone Customs and he's promised within about the next month he will bring out a Honda specific kit, because it does mean sort of discarding some of the components that come with that kit, which is a bit of a waste. It is just one of the most simple components they actually need to fasten the EXACTA mounts onto this bike. Now I put them on the bike over the weekend just to try them out, and I've got to say, I mean, when I reviewed them, yeah, you can tell they're excellent quality, you can tell that they're cutting edge product, but I didn't realise just how good they are. It's like having two high definition screens at the end of each handlebar. The definition of what you can see behind you is absolutely phenomenal. I wasn't expecting that. They're not just your average mirror. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the mirrors, and I've actually loosely put the bike back together in standard so that I can go through the video with you. Now the first thing that I knew about these mirrors was when I went with Sam from Motone to the NEC Birmingham show back in, I think it must have been 2023, where he was looking at some mirrors on a custom bike. Funnily enough, I think it was on the Royal Enfield stand. Now this had some mirrors that looked similar-ish to these Motone GRAN TOURISMOs. But I'll see if I can find the footage. I might still have it. The lens was all scratched, and he explained to me that the company that made these particular mirrors, which were rather expensive, in order to be able to get a very thin bezel, I mean this is only 4mm thick, but in order to achieve that, they'd had to use polished aluminium reflectors which had been through a hardening process to sort of try and make them scratch resistant, but it demonstrated to me that actually the scratch resistance was next to useless. They soon marked and looked pretty disgusting. And he was actually working on a similar mirror, which these are actually thinner. I'm not sure why that's a thing, but you know, that's the motorcycle industry for you. These use a very special heat hardened automotive glass, which is slightly convexed, so it gives you a wider field of view, and it's been tinted slightly with an optical quality ND coating. Now, to me, it looks like something like an ND8 or maybe an ND16. What that does is it darkens the image slightly, which sounds counterintuitive because, you know, a mirror is meant to be reflective. The thing is, this cuts down on unwanted glare, but what it does do, it increases the sharpness of the image. It also saturates colours much better than a standard mirror lens. And like I said, I was absolutely wowed by these the first time I took this bike out and used them, because not only have I got a full 180-degree view of what's going on behind me, the image quality is better than anything I've ever seen on any automotive mirror. Now, this is the GRANDE TOURISMO. This is the large or standard version. They also do the TOURISMO, which is a slightly smaller yet still legal disc size. The arm and the fitting clamp are CNC machined from 6061 T grade aluminium, that's aircraft aluminium, and the precision on these things is out of this world. It has a special newly patented swivel head. Now, this is obviously to allow adjustment, but it's designed in such a way that a lot of force is needed to actually adjust the mirror. Now, that does make the initial adjustment a little bit difficult, but what it ensures is it doesn't matter how many times this is knocked, it's not going to go out of adjustment. So once you've fitted these and adjusted them, you will find you never have to touch them again. And I'll show you what I mean about the precision and quality of these in a moment. Let's have a look at the exact amounts. Now, this is the standard exact amount. As I've said, I've spoken with Sam at Motone, and he is now looking into bringing out a specific version for the Honda motorcycles, especially for the GB350. Although I think most Honda motorcycles are the same fitting system on the end of the handlebars, which I'll show you in a moment. Now, this is designed to be used in several different ways for different diameters of handlebars. It's an expanding collar, which is, you know, designed with all these spaces to work with different sizes and different fitments. We don't need that because the end of these handlebars have threaded plugs in them. So we're going to dismantle this. Get it back together. And we don't need to use that, so I'm going to put that away somewhere. All we need here is the actual Exacta mount itself. Now, as far as I can tell, the fastener on the end of these is a Phillips number 2, or at least my Phillips number 2 is the only one I've got that will fit it. These bolts are Loctated in. They're very difficult to get these off. You won't get them off with a screwdriver because you simply won't have enough power in your wrist. As I say, I've already loosened this off because I've already had these mirrors fitted once. I just put it back together to be able to show you how to fit them. Best bet is use a ratchet and a PS2 bit, and make sure you put as much clamping force on the head towards the handlebars as you can so that it won't slip out. I mean, this is going to come off easy because I've already had it off. Actually, I think it's that sort of self-healing Loctite that it can be reused several times, but we're not going to be using either of these components. Just get it out. These can be put somewhere safe for future use if you want to turn the bike back to standard, because these mirrors are so good you're going to want to take them with you onto your next bike. Now, in the new kit from Motone Customs, they will have a different bolt because you can't use the bolt that actually comes with the Exacta kit, because this is a much more simple way of building it all. Now, I've just bought in, this is your Exacta mount. As you can see, that just clamped, that Honda have designed this really nicely so that you haven't got any funny shapes or anything here that need to be sort of locked into. It's just a flat bar, which is brilliant because it means that you can clamp one of these Exacta mounts straight onto it. I mean, we need to fit the mirror first. Now, what I've done is I've just acquired a couple of M6 50mm bolts. I think a 40mm would probably do it. Again, in Sam's kit, what you're going to get, as far as I'm aware from the conversation we've had, is two of these Exacta mounts, one for each side of the bike, and an M6 bolt so that it can be fastened on the bike. But first of all, we need to mount the mirror onto this. Now, I'll show you actually how to adjust the mirror when I fit it, and this is what I mean about the precision of these things. This actual mount here, this clamp, is so precise that there is about a micron of clearance. I mean, that fits so perfectly into there. It's unreal. I'm really impressed by these, and of course this is what Motone Customs are famous for, not just high quality but high precision as well. Now, I'll just get the thread started. Now, the kit will come with, I think it's a 5mm Allen key for you to be able to fasten these up. And I've left it over there, so I'm going to have to let that dangle while I go and get it. Yeah, as I say, Motone Customs are usually pretty good with things like that. They usually supply with the Allen keys and fasteners, tools that you're going to need. Not a full toolkit, obviously, but... Right, so, as you can see, that's already holding that fairly well. And it's just a matter of tightening this up. Don't go too far. I mean, you've got steel on steel in here, so that thread will take a lot. There's no point doing it too hard. You might want to get it off at some stage. Now, it's just a matter of adjusting the clamp and tightening it up. Right, so make sure that it's pushed all the way out to the end of your Exacta mount. Don't have it up here. It needs to be there. And so these are so well made. I like to have them just tip forward slightly. But it actually requires hardly any force to clamp them up, and they won't move. They're so precisely engineered. I really am impressed with these. Now, you have an adjustment for angle. I like to have the arm slightly out, because if you have it upright, what you'll tend to find is you're rubbing the inside of your fingers on it when you're operating the bike. I mean, it's not dangerous, it's just annoying. So I like to have it angled out very slightly, so that, you know, it's out of the way of my hands and it's not interfering with my hands in any way. This angle is absolutely perfect. To adjust it, again, you know, they're so precise. It's a fraction of a turn between loose and tightened up. They're brilliant. You've got a full adjustment point, really. I don't like to have them too wide. I know some people don't like bar-end mirrors at all for that reason, but just adjusting it out at a slight angle. and it actually, you know, it's a fraction of a turn and it's tight. That's not moving anywhere. They're absolutely brilliant. Now, the elephant in the room, obviously, is we've still got the OEM mirror on. Now, Honda use a slightly different method to most manufacturers. On a lot of bikes, the left-hand side will be a right-hand thread, and the right-hand side will be a left-hand thread. Honda build these with a right-hand thread on both sides, and they rely on, I mean, these are already loose because I say I've already undone these. They rely on a locking nut system to actually keep them in place. Now, if you're lucky, the mount will come out when you unscrew the mirror. If you're unlucky, it will leave the mount in the mirror, and I think it's just a 13mm spanner to release this part from there if you need to, but I think more often than not you'll find the whole thing will come out as one piece. Now, so that's that off, but as you can see, we've got a gaping hole in the handlebar mount there, which doesn't look great. I found these on Amazon. They're about £10 a set. I'll leave a link in the video description down below. They're made from a high quality aluminium and they're gloss black anodized. Don't need any tools, they're just screwing by hand, they're nailed around the edges. Again, I think Sam at Motone is probably going to be looking at producing some of these for the Hondas. He might even include them in the Exacta kit, I'm not sure. But that just bungs that hole up and finishes everything off nicely. Now, I'm quickly going to stick the other side on. I won't narrate through that because I'll probably have other things to say while I'm doing this, so let's get on with it. Yeah, so this caught me and Sam at Motone completely by surprise, really. Most manufacturers nowadays use some sort of bar end plug in the end of the handlebars. It's very rare that you find a hollow handlebar these days. And they're all sort of unique in their own designs, which means, you know, the chances of you having a universal part like this that will fit so well and so perfectly is virtually zero. And if I hadn't seen that CL500 in Miles Kingsport's service bay, it wouldn't have occurred to me that these Gran Turismos or the Turismo would fit any of the Hondas. You know, it's always a bit of a headache trying to get these things to fit. It usually requires making up a specific mount, so we got really lucky with this one. As I said, this is the Gran Turismo, the larger of the two Turismo models. The Turismo obviously being slightly smaller, I think that's 80mm. There is also a tri-line version, which unfortunately I don't have any footage of, but I will leave a link to it in the video description down below, along with the Exacta mounts. Now, on the Exacta mounts, I've spoken to Sam since I filmed this. He is post haste putting together a Honda specific kit, and I will also leave a link to a page where you can register your interest to get one of those kits as soon as they become available in the next few weeks. Now, the mirror delete plugs, obviously Sam has said he's going to go ahead and put some of these into production, but that takes time. That's probably going to be several months. So for now, I will leave a link to Amazon to the ones that I've used on this conversion. And if you want to go ahead and fit a set of these to your Honda, these plugs come in different configurations for different models of motorcycle. So you need to order the set of two with a right hand M10 thread, because some of the kits come with a right hand and a left hand, and obviously you're not going to be able to fit the left hand on your Honda. I'm led to believe that's pretty standard across the Honda range. Now, if you want to order a set of these mirrors for your Honda motorcycle, first of all you need to make sure that the bar ends are as I've shown you here, with an M6 thread. And if you don't want to wait for Motone to bring out the Honda specific kit for the Exacta, you can of course just buy the normal Exacta like the one I used here, and just purchase an M6 Allen socket bolt separately so that you can go ahead and fit it. And that way of course you can be up and running with a set of GRANDE TOURISMOs fitted to your Honda GB350s within the week. And even better, of course, viewers of this channel get a standard 12% discount from anything they buy from Motone Customs via a discount code, which I will also leave in the video description down below. It's quite strange really. Me and Sam, as you know, are really good friends. We WhatsApp each other pretty much daily, but it's not always about work, about, you know, custom parts and motorcycles. We talk about all sorts of things. I've done this review for the GRANDE TOURISMO and the Turismo, as I say, about 18 months ago, and I've not really given it any thought since, but when I was talking to Sam this week about this project, he actually told me that the GRANDE TOURISMO and the Turismo have become Motone best sellers. And that's because the custom trade obviously, you know, recognises that these stand head and shoulders above the competition. With a unique, non-generic design, outstanding quality and finish, the record-breaking 4mm thickness of the actual mirror head, and of course, that neutral density coating which improves image quality beyond anything that I've seen in a rearview mirror. They are quite expensive, but mirrors tend to be anyway, providing they've got certification, because it costs a lot of money to get them to fit the regulations, and then it costs even more money to get them tested and certified to demonstrate that they fit the regulations. And that's the only legal way to be able to mark them up with the E mark to show that they do conform. Right, once again, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this and my other videos, and in doing so helping to support this channel. I really do appreciate it. I'd also appreciate it if you would leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're not already a subscriber. You can help me out in other ways via my Patreon page or via PayPal donations. Details will be in the video description down below, or you can use the super thanks button just down here below the picture that you're watching now. It's not essential, but it is appreciated if you can help with the running of the channel. I will of course be back next week, so until then please ride safely and I'll see you soon.